So I had to quickly turn on the camera and make a video right now because crazy news as a Jays fan, Kevin Gausman is a Toronto Blue Jay, and obviously I am so pumped up right now. Gausman coming off a terrific season. He went 14-6 with a 2.81 ERA, struck out 227 and only walked 50 in 192 innings pitched. Good for a 3.00 FIP, a 3.55 expected earned run average, and a 3.42 Sierra. The contract was for 5 years, $110 million, so just $22 million AAV, which wasn't as much as I thought it would be. I thought he'd be getting more in the neighborhood of maybe 6.140, so I was surprised to see that. But again, apparently the Mets did actually offer more for Gausman, but Gausman actually chose to go to Toronto over the Mets, likely partially because the Mets wanted to wait for Scherzer to sign before they committed on Gausman, and so Gausman took that opportunity to come to the Jays, and I'm very happy about it. So I'm seeing people being concerned that Gausman is a two-pitch pitcher and that he'll struggle because he is a two-pitch pitcher potentially down the line later in the contract. And while that may be true because he does throw his four-seamer and his splitter over 85% of the time, I don't think it'll be as much of an issue as people think. His run value on his splitter was -23. That is incredible. Run value on his fastball as well, -12, also very good. But Gausman has legitimately possibly the best splitter in baseball. And as well, the main thing and the main reason why I'm not really that concerned about it is that his slider actually had a negative run value as well, -1. Even though only threw 177 of them last year, it was still a decent pitch. And so I feel as though possibly if his splitter starts to get hit more in the future, he can incorporate his relatively okay slider in there too and still be effective. Another thing I've seen people be concerned about is the amount of home runs he's given up and the fact that this was the first year since 2014 that his home runs per annum was under 1. But I'm not overly concerned about that, even though he's going to the American League East. Sure, it might go up a little bit again, but his StatCast metrics were much better than they were in Baltimore when home runs were an issue. His average exit velocity is lower than it was before, back in, say, 2018 and 2017. So it stands to reason that Gausman might just legitimately be a much better pitcher than he used to be, and that his performance this season does seem to be legitimate. More legitimate than Robbie Ray, may I add. Robbie Ray did have a lot of exit velocity concerns this season, more so than Kevin Gausman. And Robbie Ray also had a very concerning end to his season too. In his last 4 starts, he walked 11 and 27 in third innings, much more than he had been previously. His ERA was 4.28 and his FIP was 5.66. He also gave up 8 home runs in his last 27 and third innings, which unfortunately can be a byproduct of being a two-pitch pitcher. Gausman, meanwhile, in September did have a 4.05 ERA, but he did get quite unlucky. His FIP was actually 3.20, over 2 runs lower than Ray's FIP to his end of the season. And Gausman also struck at 51 and only walked 4 in 40 innings to end the year. So overall, I'm a big fan. I really do think this contract will age well. Maybe Gausman won't be quite as good as he was last year, but I still think he can be effective, at least second starter in a rotation. And especially only 22 million AAV and not 6 years, instead 5 years. It was reported that he might be looking for 6 years, so that did not happen. So again, I think this is a terrific contract and I'm very happy about it. And any Jays fan should be happy about it too.